name's John Cordy, and earlier this week I was asked to leave a review on these large tweezers that I got. If you remember, I bought these for retrieving a pick out of a petrol station drain. You could also use them for hats and receipts, or potentially, you know, if you ended up in the wild fighting a tiger or some other large cat, you could potentially use one of these guys for fending off a large cat or a medium cat, you know, certainly a small cat. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for those. Disappointed it didn't come with a reptile or reptile food, but obviously I guess there's probably a kit where you can get that full set. Anyway, this week I've been on a bit of a heavier kick. I started listening to a band called Sleep Token and found that kind of inspiring, so I've been messing around with some heavier tones and heavier playing, and so I just wanted to break down some of these tones that I've been using with the FM3, which you heard in the intro. So yeah, I'm playing a baritone guitar for this. Some fairly hot pickups. So the amp that I'm using for the clean is the Double Verb Normal, and the input drive I've reduced down to 2.68, and the bass I've reduced slightly, I think. Aside from that, it's stock. The cab that I'm using is the 2x12 Zilla Cream 8. I'm using two cabs, both on at the same time, but they're both the same cab if you look. So 166, 167, it's just using a different mic. So on one side you've got the ribbon mic 160, on the other you've got the ribbon mic 121. And they're panned slightly left and right just to get a maybe slightly more complex tone. No high cuts or anything. Plex delay, I've then got on the Plex delay mode, and it's just as it would be stock. And then reverb wise, I'm using the Nimbo Stratus, again as stock. And then I turned on an enhance block using the stereoizer, however you say that, and the width I've slammed up to 93 and the depth 100%, and essentially that gets somewhere close to doing like a double tracking type thing. So that's my clean tone. So the reason I'm using a Fender Twin for that is because I want something with quite a lot of clean headroom, basically. And then, you know, similar to some of the other kind of djenty prog metal-y bands, you know, Textures, these kinds of people, I think Periphery to some extent, other people use like a 6160, 5150 kind of amp. So I decided to use the 6160 block. Yeah, it's got the input drive, I think I pushed that up to 4.86. And aside from that, I think it's basically what it would be, but I've got a T808 input boost on, which doesn't show here for some reason. The bright switch on, all that stuff. So there are the settings if you wanted to copy that. Cab settings don't change, but I do turn off the delay and the reverb, and that. Yeah, that's what that's doing. And then I've also got that lead tone, and for that I did make a few adjustments, I think. So for that I'm using the Wrecker lead, and I've turned the delay and reverb back on, but here are the settings. So I've slammed up the input drive, I've slammed up the bass and the mids and the treble, turned down the high treble, and turned on this fat switch as well, and the input boost, I think I've turned on the shimmer. What else have I done? Yeah, here we go, the input boost. I've turned on the shimmer so you can see that. And then what else? The output EQ I did tweak a little bit. So here you go, 0.82 on 250, 0.72 on 500, 1K tiny boost, 2K a tiny boost, and then on the 4K and the 8K I've taken those down slightly to get rid of the delay and reverb if you wanted to. Obviously I was playing with a Strat for that as well, so not exactly the same tone with this baritone, but that was what I was going for, and I kind of liked some of those tones, so I thought I'd share those with you. I'll put this preset in my folder if you want. If you wanted to get all of my FM3 presets, just use the Buy Me a Coffee link and ask me to send them over, and I'll be happy to do so. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed this little preset. There's some other options in the preset as well for different rhythm tones. So one based on the Wrecker and then one based on the FAS Brutals. So the PV was the one that I used on the track. But I also really like that Wrecker one. So maybe if you want to check those out, you can do. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be really helpful. This is the first time I'm trying to share one of these presets with the FM3, you know, trying to show you physically on the screen. So let me know if that worked or not. Things are in a different place to where they actually are on the interface or on the FM3 interface, so it's a little bit confusing for me because I don't use FM3 Edit much, but hopefully that was slightly useful. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers.